Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and in today's live stream we're going to check the week that is coming, which is 22nd to 28th of April 2024, 1 week before the Orthodox or Easter, which the culture of Bulgarians is Orthodox, so we're about to have a Eastern in a week from now, but that's just besides the point. It was a trivia fun fact. Hello Taco, welcome to the stream, mate. So with that said, as per usual, what I'm going to do first thing is to do the collective reading. What kind of a week overall we're going to have, the world is going to have. And the cards for it, I drew a few hours ago. You can check them at the thumbnail, but I'm going to show them to you in any case. And the first card that I drew, that is the Four of Cups. The second card for the week, that is the Hangman. And the third card for the week that we have, that will be the Five of Pentacles. Okay, so this is the elemental dignity. This is how pretty much things stand. And there isn't much to be said with these three cards, other than it should be rather quite quiet week in terms of unpredictability and in terms of surprises. In fact, by the look of those cards, the only movement, and when I do say movement, I mean any kind of change, is going to come from within. So if none of us, or rather, like, how can I put it into words? If Tao doesn't need or want anything to change throughout the week, whether anything to change in their love life or anything to change into their career status or into their career, this will be one of the most ordinary weeks, guys, that anyone can have, at least according to these cards. But if there is I'm sorry for the expression here, but if there is a internal mutiny, some part of us it's just not pleased, right? So a part of us does not want to stand this anymore, then the change can come from within, because it starts with the lifestyle. That is a week where we can reassess, or best served is we can reassess our lifestyle and make the necessary changes in there, because at least according to these cards, the reason why we are going to have that internal mutiny toward one thing or another are two things: perception, so how we perceive, and perspective as well, what kind of perspective we do have on things, and as well how we address them. Maybe you are kinder than you need to be, or maybe you are not as kind as you need to be. Maybe you are giving too much of yourself where you don't need to be, or too little where you should. But this is all matter of a style, how we do address one thing or another. And that is something that if you are having these feelings that you should feel fine, right? I mean, you should be happy, but you aren't. Then it's going to serve you, me, and everybody very much to reassess the style, how we address it, and the perspective that we do have toward one thing or another. And finally, this is going to be a good week for a can I put it into words? Refreshment, no different than your glass of wine or your glass of water, whatever your drink is. It's almost finished, and so you kind of like go and fetch yourself the bottle so you can fill it up again. It's like a consecutive can I put it into words? Consecutive build-up on what makes you. Just to give you another example so I can make my point across. Say you're pretty honored at your work, but this is starting to fade away. Well, you can fill that cup one more time throughout this particular week and research back again the recognition and the honor through actions, you know, through business maneuvers and so on and so forth. So that is the collective for the week itself. And now a few notes about the show. There are going to be 12 readings as usual, one for each star sign. I'm going to start with Aries and I'm going to end up with a Pisces. So we are following the ecliptic order of the star signs. But bear in mind, guys, these are readings for your star signs. And depending on, you know, how influential one star sign is in your natal chart will determine how and where these readings are going to affect you. Other than that, if you do wish your personal situations to be a subject of my interpretation, of the interpretation of my tarot cards, you can go to my website, which link you will find in the description down below. And there on the very front page, you're going to see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. And finally, if you do enjoy the show and you do wish to support us, you can do so either using Super Chat, the dollar icon at the chat options, or you can do so with PayPal, the link of which you're going to find in the description down below. Anyone who supports the stream that way is going to have a reading at the end of it. That's pretty much guaranteed. Just like Yasmin did. Yasmin, thank you for the $20 US. Taco, thank you for the $33.33. Thank you, Taco. And as well, Jasmine, thank you for the $20 US. Thank you, Jasmine. All right, so you, Jasmine, you do have a specific inquiry. Let me just put you guys into the list. And at the end of the stream, you are going to have your personalized readings. Let me put your inquiry as well in it, Jasmine. Okay. Hey, Yasmin. Hello, Anna. All right, so the first star sign that I'm going to read for, that's going to be Aries. You can track which star sign I'm reading for by the glyph, which is, oops, it's right there. I'm still a bit confused with the new place, so I do apologize. Not confused, but disoriented, where the glyph is popping up and it is right there. Right there. All right. So Aries goes first and let's check it out. Five of Pentacles. Two of Cups. The Lovers. So this is how the Elements of Dignity stands, those three cards. Five of Pentacles, Two of Cups, the Lovers. It's pretty obvious from the cards, guys. That's a week where one should focus on clearing out mundane issues within their relationships and as well partnerships, because the Two of Cups doesn't stand only for a romantic relationship. It does stand for unity, and that could be as well a business partnership. It if you will. But what these cards are describing are mundane issues, mundane problems, the problems that everyone and every couple or every business partnership has. And as a mundane problems, for example, your spouse is coming up at night every evening out of work and he's just not taking off their shoes at the line you want them to, and they go a little bit further, and that drives you nuts. You know, and that's a mundane issue. Or they're not washing their dishes, or I don't know, not talking with you after dinner, but instead going and watching some TV, and you just can't keep quiet anymore, right? That's just for example, for that kind of a concerns we're talking about for throughout the week. And that's week, and within this week, if you do open up for them or with those concerns, at least according to these cards, the very least a start is gonna be set for their resolution, but it's not gonna be pretty, because the other side is going to retaliate as well, and they're going to display certain things that they do find as a mundane issue for them. So you both have to make some effort, whether that's, again, a business partnership or intimate partnership. You both need to make certain efforts, but the very first step of that is to open up. No pride, no ego, no shame whatsoever, which are the limits usually that are withholding one to actually speak up what's wrong in their eyes within a healthy relationship. And that is for Taurus. All right, moving for Aries. I'm sorry. Moving next, we do have Taurus. But before that, Anna, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Anna. Let me put you into the stream, into the list. The Hermit. King of Wands. Ten of Swords. That's a week about you living yourself certain options that you can fall on if, let's call it that way, shit hits the fan later down the road in regards to your enterprises and as well endeavors. This is a week where what is going to be defined is what you are handling currently, whether a project, whether a relationship, you know, whether something in your social circle, whatever the case. Quite important, not just only for the job or for the family life, but for you personally as well. In fact, for some of you, Taurus, that may happen to be the one thing that you do see purpose into pushing forward with, right? And again, it's going to be very personal for every single one of you, but it's going to be important to have a branches or the whole enterprise to contain branches, multiple ways. How if one version or if one option doesn't work out, you do have another option to fall on, so you do not hit the ground with a crash. Long story short, that's gonna, how can I put it into words? It's gonna keep you afloat wherever that important field for you is, right? Instead of committing, making a strong commitment and finding it that you have, I don't know, take a wrong turn or something like that, and in the end you end up losing everything you built. because that is like a contingency here, right? That is like a plan B or a plan C or a plan Z, plan Z. I'm sorry, if you wanna call it that way. And additionally to it, it's a great week if you do open up yourself for a little bit of fun. Not much. I mean, you don't have to revel in it, but having a little bit of a fun, going out on a bar or on a disco if that's your thing, you know, or just among people is gonna serve you very, very well. It's just it's gonna help you enjoy the world more than you are enjoying it right now. And that's how the week is gonna be for you, Taurus. So don't be, what's the word? Set in stone, for what I can figure. All right, so next we do have Gemini. Mercury is retrograde. Oh yeah, it is. It's going direct soon though, right? Let me check it out. That's important, guys. Yeah, in 6 days, at least according to my calendar. Three of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles for Gemini. Those three cards. Give me a second here. It's a bit of a chain of consecutive events, and this chain is unleashed if you do accept. It may come in a form of help, but I'm going to use the word support, right? It's going to come in a form of support, and if you do accept that support, it will unleash a chain of consecutive events. Now, actually two processes. Let's not call them events, let's call them processes. Okay, it's going to unleash a chain of consecutive processes. The major ones are two of them. Now, one of the process, it is that the unnecessary or flat out the inefficient is gonna be swiped off. What I mean is that whatever you have in mind that is not gonna work out, and it is dated, right? It is outdated, in fact, actually, and it's not gonna work out, whether in your love life or whether into your career. It's about to be scratched out of the to-go list. And the other process is going to be that once that happens, then it's about to be replaced with the quite efficient steps as a plan that should be followed. Very simple, by the way, simple steps, easy steps, but very, very effective steps. That looks a lot like a development of something specific, like a specific project, like a specific social enterprise, right? Or a specific idea, or again, enterprise within your romantic life, if that's what these cards are referring to you. But the point is that whatever maze you're finding yourself into, it could be straightened out. You don't have to scamper and try to figure out the way forward, because it's going to be there. I mean, you're going to be led by a hand, and the only thing you need to do is just accept the support that it is coming. Should you decide not to accept that support, well, nothing really is going to change for you throughout the week. All right, next, Cancer. Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Seven of Swords. Investment week rather than a development week. What I mean is that according to these cards, if you do want to further your goal, you know what your goal is, right? And if you do want to further it, that ain't a week where you need to wage a war in regards how can I put it into words? So you can accomplish that goal, but instead you need to buy your way forward. That is what those cards are talking about. And under buy-in, I'm not speaking about bribing or anything like that, but instead of being forceful and try to bend, how can I put it into words, the rules on your will, you should invest in the whole enterprise so you can start making up the rules instead of trying to bend them. And well, it has a lot to do making the others happy. For example, you have a tough time in your business because you cannot see eye to eye with, I don't know, with your business partner. Try to make them happy with something and you will see things are going to start getting much easier into getting what you want. Same thing goes into the romantic life. But bottom line, it is that if you do want to restore the successfulness, the lucrativity, and the harmony, you got to invest into the other side, at least for the time being. That is what those cards are showing. If you are unwilling to do so, then again, nothing changes and things are as they are going, as they are currently right now. And if you are happy with them, that's fine, right? I mean, nothing wrong with that if you are happy how you stand. What we are examining for the week, it is how to change it if you will, or if you wish. Right, next. That will be Leo. Very slippery cards. Queen of Wands. Death. Good night, living girl. Nine of Pentacles. Alright, guys. It's actually a beautiful thing. So, we know how we all have our ups and downs, pros and cons, plus and minuses with our characters. I mean, no one is perfect. And what these cards are showing it is that for one person, this is going to be insignificant. What I mean is that for one person, for you, Leo, within this week, whether that's someone you know or someone you are about to meet, it's all up to the individual experiences currently. But for one person, your cons or minuses in your character, in your social standing, in your career, or whatever the case, ain't gonna matter. Okay, and that person is gonna see. I put it into words. It's very hard to describe it. They are gonna make the most out of you. Let's put it that way. Or they are going to make you display the most out of yourself. They're going to utilize the best you can be, whether in your love life or whether into your career, and you're gonna feel very good about it. That will be the one time that you will not gonna have a feel that you have to change something about yourself, because we do have someone that knows how to handle your your afflictions, curses, but also knows how to propel forward your virtues as well. And the very least, you're gonna find a very, very good friend into the upcoming week. Whether you allow that person to be a part of your life or not, entirely up to you. All right, Virgo. Oh my God. Ten of Wands, the Devil, and the Emperor. These are the three cards for Virgo. Those three. Hello, Mandy. Just give me a moment, guys. Short reading for Virgo. You can change opinions within this week. So this is how it stands, guys, okay? That's a week where you can do whatever the hell you want, right? This is a week where you can completely forego your... Someone said the right word last time, obligations. So you can completely forego your obligations and nobody's gonna hold you to it. But that will make you obviously look very reliable. Or you can do the opposite. Okay. Why I'm saying that? Well, because it does look like that this is gonna be a week, as per the card stands, that your obligations, the obligations that you have to, that are there for you to attend to, not, you don't have to, so I changed my expression here, but that are there for you to attend to, are going to be obligations you don't want to associate yourself with for one or another reason. That's just not something you want. You will be gleeful and ecstatic and attuned, if you will, to attend to right now and to handle. So the question for you is gonna stand: are you gonna please yourself, or are you gonna please the austerity in your life? The choice is yours. But you need to know that once you start, a couple of things actually you need to know. Once you start, what I mean is that once you do attend to the obligations, there will be no going back from that. And that will devour most of your week. What I mean is that you are going to be very, very busy doing so. And the second thing that you need to know is that, yeah, it's going to be a slog. It's going to be a... dissatisfaction along the way. but by the very end, an amazing rewards are awaiting you from it. High positions, a lot of appreciations, financial gains, whatever those obligations predispose for the very end of them. So I guess it does depend on the individual what one wants. If you do want to take a break, you can do so throughout the week. You don't have to kind of like slave yourself out of existence just because you gave a word or anything like that. Okay. But if you do want to reap the rewards from these obligations, that's a week where you actually show that, you know, they are a part of your life. People will expect from you to be reliable and very disciplined in terms of these obligations. The society or the people that you're working with or working for will expect that from you. But you don't have to be. That's what I'm trying to say here. So the choice is going to be yours. You're welcome, Mandy. All right, next, Libra. The Justice, the Seven of Wands. Yeah, it's the Seven of Wands. I only need a minute just to see the third card. Six of Pentacles. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't need a minute because with the Six of Pentacles, it's quite obvious. You're gonna get something that was promised. And under promise, I mean quote unquote, that was promised to someone else. Get as a proposal. You will have the final word. That's a choice you gotta make throughout the week. And doing so, you need to take everything under account, including yourself and your feelings and everything you stand for. And the other side is gonna hate you for it. Just there is no going around that, guys. You will be, for example, offered the position that your colleague that you are a best friend with there at work thought that they're gonna get. The guy that you both like with your girlfriend is gonna approach you instead of her, or the woman that you and your boyfriend, or rather like a guy friend like, is gonna approach you instead of him, right? Or the same house you and your cousin are trying to buy, they're gonna approach you instead of them. And so you are gonna have a choice here, whether you forfeit in a favor of, you know, looking good in the eyes of the other side, or you're gonna take what you can get. The choice is gonna be yours. One of them is gonna place you few steps below from the one that you are forfeiting from at the ladder of the hierarchy. So you're definitely gonna end up being beneath them afterwards. The other choice, taking what you can get, is gonna make your day-to-day routine quite busy, at least for the next few days, at least for the entirety of the week. And also is gonna make certain people hate you. So again, you should think very carefully how you do want to handle that, Libra. But before you render your verdict or you make your choice, make sure that you do take in everything under account, including yourself in it. All right, next, Scorpio. That's not bad. Excluding the sun being there. There's always something, right? I mean, look at those cards. The sun is a enemy to the Four of Cups, and you may think Four of Cups is a bad card. Well, it's an unpleasant card, except we do have the Nine of Pentacles next to it, which is a friend to the Four of Cups. And first, what these two mean? What these two mean? It means that the thing is next to it's next to us. The job is next to us. The opportunity is next to us, right? The breakthrough, and I mean with a capital D. The person, the woman, the guy, whatever the case. The thing is in front of us. The one thing that it is perfect for us. The perfect job, the perfect spouse, the perfect social circle. It is next to us. We are not a part of it yet, but it is within reach and it's waiting for us. And then it is the sun, which is an enemy to that. And the sun speaks that it will be a bit unnatural. It's not gonna, how can I put it into words, fit entirely with our criterias. Okay, for example, the perfect job for you, but you are used to be to have a high discipline in job. Okay, everything needs to be austere, everything needs to be neat and whatnot, and you go there and you see that people are laughing and giggling and they're taking it as a game, right? And it's a bit of a chaotic environment and all that, and this drives you crazy, but at the end of the day, the job is far better done than any other company you were before in. And that is going to be super strange. And this is just for an example, guys, I'm giving with the job. That's going to be super strange for you, but it's going to work. So something strange that you thought incompatible, we thought, because I'm Scorpio as well, incompatible actually is going to work far better than you have, than we have even can fathom at that particular point for us. Whether we take it or not as a Scorpio, it's entirely up for us, but it's going to be there. All right, next, Sagittarius. It's coming this week. Ace of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Two of Wands. It's easy for Sagittarius, it's an easy reading. A realization that things are far easier than you anticipated. And it doesn't matter for what. What I mean is that things are far easier to nail that relationship, or things are far easier to win that client. Things are far easier to bring your business back on its feet, whatever the case, or whatever your endeavor currently is. But as these two cards stands, they speak that the reality of the situation, the true diagnosis of situation, is that there are far too less of steps in order to get to the designated destination you want to find yourself at. So you don't have to be that, I don't want to say the word meticulous. I can't actually find the English word, probably because I don't know it, but like ossified maybe into your perception that great results comes with a colossal and hard work. Sometimes you're just natural into the endeavor, and it's an easy peasy cake to get a good results. And that's the case here, because for what those cards are showing, 95% it is your experience, your critical thinking, that it is based on that experience, and the results you have established thus far. And from there, it is just a bit of a build on top of this, and you can get to the designated destination instead of, again, toiling and slogging and slaving on the fact that a great results comes with back-breaking labor and a lot of sweat on your brow. That's not the case. In fact, that is just my personal observation, guys. No one gets rich with a back-breaking labor. It's no one. So I guess this is where the parable comes from. You know, you gotta work smart rather than working hard. Well, that's a week, Sagittarius, where you need to be more cunning with how you handle the expectations, and as well the work forward, rather than relying to break your back with labor. Capricorn, 4 of Wands, Temperance, 4 of Cups, oops, that is a week where you're gonna figure out how to fix things, primarily relating relationships. Now that I think of, a lot of star signs are about relationships this week. But for you, Capricorn, very prominent differences, okay? Things that you and, say, your boss do not agree on, but you do respect each other for your opinion, because you don't see wrong in it. It is just not your cup, okay? And within this week, you, both of you, not just only you, but both of you are going to find a way how to work around that, okay? How to accept it so you don't have to change either of yourself. And I'm going to give you an example now that I think of. You know, I have my very best friend. It's very good at his job, but he just, for the life of him, he just can't wake up early in the morning, right? And usually bosses, supervisors, or whatever, they do not handle very well when people do not follow protocol. But my friend always find a way to work around that with their supervisor or with their boss, and at the end everybody is happy. So I guess it comes to that, you know, his boss understands that it is not important when you work, but it is important that at the deadline the job is done, and he always does his job. That's besides the point. So that kind of a thing, whether in your job or in your love life, you are going to find a way to resolve in the next week, April 22nd up until the April 28th. You may have differences into where you want to go on vacation, or you may have differences how to go forward with life, and so on. But the point is that week you will simultaneously gonna find a common ground, which common ground is gonna serve both of you without changing, you know, your understanding and your perception for life and how life needs to move forward. So it's symbiosis, actually, now that I think of, that's gonna happen here. Whether, however, you're gonna act on these resolutions, up to you to decide. Aquarius. Page of Wands. Page of Cups. The Hangman. Nasty thing. Now, guys, when someone holds it back and the disagreement, the disgruntledness, mutiny, the disapproval, and it holds it back, and it piles up and it piles up until this person is nothing but a cauldron of rage, you know. And that's gonna be the week of the final drop. And don't take it wrong, but what I am trying to say here is that is the week where you're gonna see the true face of someone. So what I think is gonna happen, because that's usually how these cards manifest, it's a person who always smiles and tells you it's fine, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. I mean, we are friends, right? I mean, we went through so much together and whatnot, but it isn't fine. Not for them. It piles up within. And it is not your fault, because this isn't something you have made intentionally to make that person feel bad or anything like that. It is just your nature that you are expressing, and there are part of that nature which is normal for everyone that this individual does not approve of, and they tell you it's fine, you know, it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal for them. So what happens here is that you do have someone around you that shows a very polished exterior, but in the same time they're very, very fragile from within, and they're hurt. And so the final drop is going to come this week, and they are going to lash out. How you will handle the lashing, it's entirely up to you, but that's going to stir this interaction you have with him, that relationship with him, so much. And instead of, you know, nice emotions to be displayed, there are going to be nasty feelings there, like passion, like a lot of fiery feelings. Rage is one of them as well, but I don't think that it's going to go that far, except for these scenes where they're going to be yelling and screaming and all that, because it's very, very possible. If I have to percentage it, 80% of the cases are going to be with those kind of scenes. If you consider that a rage, then rage it is to be, but it's important to know that that is within their nature. I mean, this is who they were all the time. It's just they have covered it up until this point. And now as you do see their true face, you get to decide, do you want them around or not? Hello, Nita. Welcome to the stream. All right, okay. So last but not least, that will be Pisces. Those three cards for Pisces: Eight of Cups, Three of Pentacles, Page of Cups. That week is going to present you something, or most likely someone, that you are going to look forward to. This is not a week, however, where there's going to be a significant improvement. And that's going to be a point, an arc that is going to disappoint you. Okay, so for you Pisces, simply throughout this week, no matter what, it just is not going to be enough for you. But despite that, there is going to be for you what to look forward to, and it's going to be a big thing, most likely an individual, most likely a person. So long story short, within this week, you will see that the winds of changing are coming in your neighborhood. They are at your street, they are blowing in your window, and the prospect, what they're bringing with them, freaking awesome. For you, I mean, the perspective that they're bringing for you, much better and much brighter than the perspective you're seeing right now. So if things aren't going okay, I mean, if things are going upside down, or they're taking a wrong turn, don't worry about it. Everything is going to straighten out far better than you think. You just gotta wait a little. All right, guys. That's gonna do for the 12th. Now the super chat. Before that, I'm gonna satiate my nicotine hunger. Probably for the live streams, I should bring the vape, because that way I can take a 1 or 2 inhales throughout the live stream and just fix that issue. For those of you who wonder why I do not vape anymore, I developed some kind of an allergy to the liquid. And my skin at my mustaches and 2 points right here, okay? So here and here, it's only as a point, like, I don't know, as big as my nail. It's starting to peel off. So, and as soon as I stop smoking, as soon as I stop vaping it goes away, no problem. But maybe, you know, for the live streams, it's not going to affect me at all, because just is going to be such a tiny amount that I'm going to vape. But that's just only for me, all right? My best friend that I gave, for example, I forget for what star sign was it. He was vaping just as much as I do, from just as long as I do, and he's just fine. So that is something personal for me. Okay, it's not that this is an effect that everybody is going to experience. Yeah, I think it's I think it's that. I think it's a propylene glycol allergy for me as well, because it's the skin. Well, we don't have that here, Taco. We do have a different brands, but I do think that they also have that propylene glycol in it. Yes, Devone, thank you for the £5. Thank you. Yes, Devone. Let me put you into the list. Do you know how much it's gonna cost? The thing is that the delivery is gonna cost 3 times the product. It's going to be so ridiculously expensive. Shipping from United States to Bulgaria, that's half the world. It will be ridiculously expensive. Believe me, I have done that ordeal. And when I checked the bill at the end, I paid twice the product in expense for the shipping. It's to send a tiny piece of paper, okay, to send a sheet of document to the other side of the world, to that part of the world from me, it costs $60. 65 actually, $65. This thing, because I have to order quantities of it. I can't, ship it every week or so. So it's gonna cost a lot. I imagine 150, $200, even more. But I know that because I'm watching YouTube, like every person, and there are a lot of content creators that I'm watching which are advertising such of products, with natural oils that you do vape, which have nothing to do with the chemistry of the ordinary vape and whatnot. Thank you, Anna. Well, ever since the European Union happened, the piracy is no longer a thing here, at least not for that. For goods, I don't know about, digital goods, but for that kind of goods, very difficult to actually stumble upon them. I'm not saying that they're not around, but you really need to know people in order to get your hands on that. Before the European Union happened here in Bulgaria, for example, contraband cigarettes left, right, and center, all right? Everywhere you go, the cigarettes were contraband. Let me show you something. So you do see that stamp on the box? That is government regulated. That stamp is a proof that this product is regulated by the government, that this product contains exactly what is said in it, that it is produced by Philip Morris and whatnot, and and if that stamp is on alcohol, tobacco, and one other product, but I can't remember it right now, and if the product doesn't have that stamp, it means that it is contrabanded. All right, like if you buy a bottle of alcohol and it doesn't have that stamp on it, it means that it is contraband. But tobacco and alcohol are government regulated here. They have a fixed price, so everywhere you go, a box of a certain brand of cigarettes costs that much, right? Because in England it was a weird thing, I go to that convenience store and box of cigarette was costing, say, £6.50.
in the other convenience store is £7.30. At the airport, £12.50. Oh my god, the airport, I paid so much for cigarettes at the airport. It was freaking ridiculous. But here it costs just as much everywhere because it's government regulated. Oh yeah, I mean, they are, I think that is the only product of them here, because, and it is the best one, by the way. There are other companies that are developing heat. This is called heats technology, and are developing, but I think Philip Morris one is the best one. Well, yeah, but the thing here is that at the airport, the same price for alcohol and tobacco. It's just the same price. Because they are, again, they are stamped, they are government regulated. All right, let's go to the super chat now. First one, Yasmin. Let's see what kind of a week you're gonna have. Well, it has its ups and downs, Taco. Preserved in what way, you may ask? Oh no, we are nothing like Germany. We are nothing like Germany. Our laws have a very big flaws, right? Are huge flaws. And here, if you hire a very capable attorney, they can get you out of literally everything. And I'll give you an example. It was in an outrageous example. Okay, there was that case, a murder case, and they were trying to find a guy. I mean, the police knew the guy who did it. It was on a camera. It was just blatantly there. Okay, but the guy vanished and they couldn't find it. 6 or 7 years later, they found the guy. He just changed his appearance drastically. Okay, it's just you look at him and you can say that's not that guy, but they found the guy, and they prosecuted the guy on a trial, and the final decision was that it was determined that this person stabbed the other one who died, but because there was no proof that this person held the knife, okay, they couldn't prove that he actually held the knife because probably he had a glove and there were no camera at that secluded place. They acquitted him. Okay, it was proven that he stabbed the guy, but they couldn't prove that he actually held the knife that he stabbed him with, and he was acquitted. Big flaws in the laws here, and I mean all the laws here. Right now, we do have a pretty big constitutional crisis with the government transition, and it's going on for years now, 2 years, and it's just they can't figure it out. Oh yeah, there is a lot of culture here. After all, we are one of the oldest countries or oldest civilizations that still stands in Europe. Bulgaria was founded 681st year after Christ, if my memory serves me right. It's 680 or 80. yeah, or 82, I don't know. But it is 7th centuries. It's the 7th century, and we still stand. None of the other original cultures and countries that were founded stand in Europe. Germany wasn't Germany, okay? Italy was the Roman Empire back then. So maybe England. Yeah, England, maybe it's older than Bulgaria, but again, England is a secluded place back then. There weren't much means how to get to England and invade it. Well, not exactly, you know, yeah, I mean, the Bulgarians had a lot of effort, gave a lot of effort into the endeavor, but without the Russian Empire, we just wouldn't be able to do it. So it was joint effort in between the Russian Empire and the Bulgarian uprising that liberated us from the Ottoman rule. You watched that, eh? All right, back to the super chat. But there is, as you do mention the Ottoman rule, there is a museum which is devoted to the Batak massacre. And it's a museum literally built by bones and skulls, and on the walls are all the names that were massacred in this town, in this village. It's terrifying when you go there. You know, women, children massacred by the ordinary Ottoman army. There wasn't even a brigands that did it, or the militia. It was the ordinary army, or at least that's what it said. I don't know. I haven't been there, I can't say. But that's one thing if you wanna see culture. In my hometown, there is a lot of culture there as well. The oldest city in Europe that it is excavated, and I mean the oldest city in terms of it predates even the Acropolis in Greece, and it's called Perperikon. You can go there and see it. There is the Orpheus tomb as well at the Tool. I'm not much of a cultural person, but there is a lot of things you can see here. Well, Taco, every nation is barbaric in the right conditions. You know, you say crazy by barbarians, but we do had our fair share as a Bulgarian nation into it. For example, the one of the third successful Khan of Bulgarians, the Khan Krum. Do you know what was his pseudonym? He was called Krum the Dreadful, because you don't know what he's gonna do. He massacred so many people. It's astonishing. He made it a sport, and he was making cups out of their schools. There is even a famous picture that it is drawn on him back then, holding the skull of the Roman emperor he beheaded. The Roman emperor back then, Nicephorus, I think is his name, and made a skull and made a cup out of his skull. What is this? Okay, so I think that every every person can be a barbarian and a monster under the right circumstances, as there is good in every one of us. Yeah, he was insane, right? That was his problem. He was insane, but very successful as a leader. All right, Yasmin, these are the three cards of yours, and it's improvement in your relationship. Okay, improvement on multiple fronts in your relationship that you are carrying on currently, and this improvement is gonna come through a mundane sacrifices from both sides. Okay, it's think of it that way. Something throughout this week, Yasmin, is gonna make both of you to make adjustments in your schedule, in your lifestyle, so you can make each other's life more comfortable and more exciting on top of it. Now, where this is gonna lead, that is up to be decided, but the healing process, if one needs to be established there, it's about to start into that particular week, April 22nd to April 28th. Even if it is for small things, okay, the healing process is about to start. All right, so next, Taco, it's your turn. You're welcome, Yasmin. All right, Taco. These are your Lenormand cards. I need to draw you the tarot cards so I can be more specific of them. These are your tarot cards. And a moment. It's an unexpected development. It's an unexpected development that is gonna change how things stands. I don't know what with. Where are they? Okay. Maybe work, most likely. So an unexpected development that you are kept in the dark. And that unexpected development will be a good development, but the thing is that it's gonna change how things stands for you. And this change will going to put, let's put it that way, is gonna put your plans on hold, or your progress on hold for now. And on top of that, the fact that you have been held in the dark, you are not gonna like it. So that will be a reason for you to confront. There is a confrontation that it is happening here throughout the week. So imagine it, I don't know what you're working, but say the person that you are working with or your business partner did something behind your back. It was good for the business, okay, good for the clients and whatnot, but behind your back. And that is just an example. And of course, as you don't know that this person is doing that, you are having certain plans how to go with the business forward and whatnot, and suddenly it is revealed that this business partner of yours is doing that, and this changed everything about your plans, and now you will have to take a step back, a few steps back, in fact. And the problem is going to be that the narrative that things needs to go forward, despite that that's going to be a sound success here that we have, has to be a direction that is different from the one you strived for. Okay, so that is what the primary reason that you are going to be pissed off about. Now that I think of, mate, and I'm sorry of giving it that example, it may not be that the case, but say you are planning to surprise your wife with, I don't know, with an excursion. Go and visit places, and you have in mind a plan about going into places, into a certain destinations, okay? Just to find out throughout the week that your wife had the same idea, but for a different destinations, and she already booked. And there you go. I mean, it's successful. You are going, just not where you planned to go, and that kind of like throws all of your plans out of the window, and so now you gotta figure new ones. And of course, probably the first thing that's gonna come to your mind to ask her, why would you do that? Not telling me, right? But it was with the good intentions, right? To just to surprise you. So that's the most important thing throughout the week. Don't worry about it. I mean, the best way to go through it is just not to take any action whatsoever. Let things fix themselves on their own accord. Yeah, it's positive. It is just not what you are expecting. That's the problem. All right. If it can be a problem. All right, next, Yasmin. Positive development in my romantic life, question mark. No, it's not an unexpected shift. It's a successful development that you have been kept in the dark about is going to cause that shift that you need to make in order to align, just like I expect. Yeah. You just, let it go. Let it fly. At least for now. Oh, don't worry. No one's fault, Taco.
Talk soon, mate. Farewell. All right, Jasmine, those are your cards. So the time frame, it's in a span of 1 year and few weeks, up until the start of May next year. And here what the problem we have is not if, but how. So what these cards are describing is an interaction in regards to your romantic life that is gonna happen very fast, and this interaction is gonna take place within this time frame. It could be next month, it could be 7 months from now, I don't know when, but it's going to take place there, and it will develop rapidly, which is going to be the issue, which is going to be the problem, because you may end up, and not just under you, I don't mean just only you, but also the person from the other side, end up committing way too prematurely. Now that on its own is not going to be that big of an issue, okay? Because even prematurely, you can still kind of like readjust and fit and whatnot. But the problem of this premature development, or commitment rather, is going to be that you don't know each other very well, and therefore certain ideals that you both have for a relationship life is not going to be still clear to the other. And so you may have an impression that whatever ideal you do have kind of fit with that person, while it doesn't. And this will create certain disappointments that can be overcome. Can, not can't, but they can be overcome. But why would you need to face them, right? And so that the reason that can happen is the premature commitment. But if you do take your time instead and take it slowly, despite the flow, because the flow is gonna rush and kind of like urge you for a rapid progression. But again, you have the reins. You get to calm down that steed, so to speak. And ultimately, as a result, your agenda in relationships fulfilled. But again, it's going to serve you very well if you do not rush it. What I mean is that you do not give yourself to the impulse of a rapid progression. Another thing very important, the expectations. Right now, or when that interaction happens and you see that rapid progression, certain expectations that you are going to have from the person from the other side, from the development, are going to be unrealistic, and it's going to be very important for you to recognize that, so you do not end up beguiling yourself into something that can never happen. That could be a deal breaker for you, though. How you're going to recognize the endeavor? Well, the biggest sign, if you may call it that way, is going to be that you are not going to be afraid. You are not going to be afraid that if you do speak up your mind, the other person is going to say leave you alone, or it's not going to put themselves into your shoes, or is going to burst out and whatnot. Okay, so you will be afraid no more to speak up your mind and to act true to your heart. Yasmin. Okay, next, Anna.
Okay, Anna, it's a phone call that you will receive that week from a man. Those are the cards. With most likely a proposition, what's going to come from that phone call, it's an opportunity to further and develop your current undertaking, or I would say your goal. Now that could be a phone call from authorities. For example, if you are waiting or you are applying for some kind of a certificate, or you are applying for some kind of an approval, it could be a phone call for a business development, you know, but a phone call from a man. And your answer will be expected to be immediate and conclusive. What I mean, you are to be expected to whether agree or disagree for good at the time at the phone call. All right. So saying, thinking about it, I'm going to think about it and whatnot, pretty much that opportunity probably is going to be given to someone else instead. It could be also a job offer for all I know. The thing is, it's going to be a phone call from a man, again, presenting you with an opportunity to further your goal, something that you are building currently. You are not quite there, accomplishing a milestone, but you are getting there. And again, it will be allowed to you to proceed forward, hopefully with a help. And your answer will be expected to be immediate and conclusive. Whether you take it or not, entirely up for you to decide though. Personally, my personal opinion, by the look of the cards, it will be foolish not to take it. Yeah, it is quite promising. That is a phone call after a lot of delays, though. I mean, you should have received it sooner. All right, and last but not least, here's Devone. So your inquiry was what the universe is sending your way this week. So let's check it out. That will be a Lenormand reading. These are the cards. The universe is sending you an end of disagreements. News Devone. And I mean on multiple fronts. So, or let's call it battles. So you're leading battles on multiple fronts, and now it's gonna be just only one front. Okay. And also how they can be interpreted, it is that the root of the problem with your disagreements, or the disagreements that you do have, say with a colleague, say with a boss, say with a client, say with a spouse, are no longer going to be relevant, and therefore it's just only a matter of time, these disagreements to die out completely. That is what the universe is sending your way. All right, that's going to do it, guys, for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and we are going to see each other next time. Until then, bye.